think about when you're born into a fire. But let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised.
Okay, here we go. And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another wonderful episode of OK Seriously, the segment where you ask the questions and we will give you answers. Disclaimer, we are not qualified professionals in pretty much anything, so our answers are for entertainment value only. Or, I don't know. I think we know some things. And our special guest this week...
things we know, but it's still for entertainment, I would say.
I think there are some things that we know, yeah, that we picked up over the years.
I think for legal purposes, saying it is entertainment is wise. Even though some of our advice might be actionable, but it's just for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, no, that's more than fair. So, and our special guest this week is, of course, Green Parents. Green Parents, thank you for coming and joining us today.
Hey, yeah. Hey, Vanguard. Always happy to be here.
Excellent. All right.
I delight in helping people.
I think we jump right into it, yeah? So let's see what we got.
Sure.
Let's see what we got from our submissions this week.
All right.
We got, let's see. We've taken a selection of questions from our question pool. And the, oh, what is this? We have a fan on. Hello, fan. How are you? I think we know this fan. This is a person that we know and see. I know you probably can't see this, but it's a fan called Jessica Sands, who's asking us a question, actually.
I'm not sure if that... I think we're going away from the format of this show if we're allowing random questions to kind of come in.
I think we might have time for those. I mean, we'll see how it goes. We're going to hit our pre-can questions first, and then we'll see if we get to these at the end, right?
If someone out there needs help right now, I have no problem.
I mean, we're here to help, is really what it is. We're here to help. So, all right, let's get into our questions. So, first question comes from Hank from Chicago, Illinois.
All right.
Hank asks, my wife and my girlfriend have the same birthday. They both want to celebrate their special day with me. What do I do? So, let me read that right. So, wife and girlfriend, same birthday. Okay. So, first off, I guess wife and girlfriend, booyah.
Yeah, I mean, isn't the obvious answer have a three-way? I mean, it's something that everyone can do together, and no one is left out of the celebration. You know, I mean, I would assume, I mean, I'm assuming, yeah, I'm making some assumptions here. I'm assuming that they know each other exists.
Right.
And they would both be open to a three-way. But yes. I still think that is the best way to celebrate the day with both of them equally.
I would think if it was
also Hank.
I would think if it was Hank's birthday, then the three-way would be the proper route to go. But if it's their birthday, I don't know. But to your point, I think it depends on the situation, right? Do they know about each other?
Right. I mean, Hank doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's like really too worried about. I don't know. Keep anything special for his wife versus his girlfriend, considering they both want to celebrate their day with him. Yeah, yeah, this is a three-way situation.
Okay.
It has to be. It has to be.
That's fair. I mean,
but what would you see it as? What would be an alternative?
Well, I think, again, it depends, right? So we're going under the assumption that they all know. If they don't know, so if the wife doesn't know about the girlfriend, clearly the answer is the wife. And you tell the girlfriend, look, I'm married, she doesn't know, this is how it is. And we'll celebrate on Tuesday or whatever, right? If they know...
Because you want to be polite when you're cheating on your wife with your girlfriend. You want to make sure your wife gets first dibs of your time. Okay, that's good. No, I'm listening. I want to do this respectfully.
In hindsight, that
How-
came out weird.
While I'm cheating on my wife, how can I treat everyone respectfully?
Right, and then the so right, so okay, so let's go with the scenario where they know about each other, right? The girlfriend, and it's kind of like an openish relationship or a poly relationship, right? So
Right.
in poly relationships, typically the way it goes is that there's a primary, so meaning like you are my priority, and then secondary. So like we have a relationship, but if something is up in my primary, I must devote my attention and time to there. So something with our kids or something with our home or whatever.
That
you
sounds
know?
very much like Big Love, which was Mormon polygamy. They had like a primary wife who was like the main person, and then
that's
like
right.
secondary wives, and they all got sort of like the youngest one was always like had the least power or whatever, or the least.
Oh, it was a seniority basis kind of thing.
Yes, and then there was the first one who was like she really ran everything and told all the other wives what to do.
I almost wonder if it would have been the reverse. But
I mean,
like
honestly,
the youngest
watching
one
that
gets the
show,
most say.
It seemed like pure hell for that man. I have no idea why anyone would ever. I mean,
Yeah.
He was trying to please everyone at the same. He just seemed like the most miserable human being ever.
I
So,
gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I have to chime in on that too. So, I mean, I love my wife dearly, right? But there's absolutely no way I want to with her. It's like, cannot.
I wouldn't be able to. I can only have my personality shifted to be like how one person wants it. So if one person's going to change me, I want that to be my wife, and only those changes go into effect. Because if I'm with someone else and she starts changing me, then the wife's going to be like, "Hey, I thought you didn't do that anymore." It's like, oh,
You're gonna get pulled in so many directions. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Right?
yeah.
I get you. So what I was getting at, so the primary secondary thing. So you need, if you have an open relationship or a polygamous relationship, you need to have that understanding, and you have to say, look, my wife's birthday, here's what we're gonna do. And if you've been with each other for a while, it's gonna happen every year. So you're like, I'll celebrate the day with you, the day after with her, however it works out. But you can make these arrangements. But I mean, so I guess the answer, if they know, is you got to prioritize your wife. If they don't know, the answer is also your wife. So-
Okay, so the respectful thing to do is prioritize your wife, and also, yeah, okay. So either way, prioritize your wife. I get it.
I didn't think of the third scenario. If your girlfriend doesn't know you're married, then you definitely have a problem.
Okay, Hank, you did not provide us with enough information.
It's true.
Because we need to know. I mean,
yeah, Hank, who knows what?
right? Yeah, exactly. Like his, really knowing if they know each other, I think, is the key thing.
Yeah.
Because if they do, booyah. If they don't, well, you might find yourself in a little bit of hot water there. Hank.
Yeah, it's really that third scenario is the worst case scenario, because if your girlfriend doesn't know you have a wife, yeah, first of all, if that's your situation, get out of that situation, because you might think it's great now, but it's going to end so poorly for you.
Is it worse if your girlfriend doesn't know you have a wife, or your wife doesn't know you have a girlfriend?
I almost think it's worse if the
Second one
girlfriend
seems
doesn't know you
worse.
have a wife. It does. Because
Why?
so we're going on a tangent. But I think because if you have a girlfriend that you've been leading along, doesn't know you're married, and then she finds out, I think one of the first things that girl would do is go to your wife.
You put a lot of thought into this, haven't you?
When she eventually finds out. I mean, I would think if I was, you know.
Yeah, I haven't spent a lot of time, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you probably have the better plan.
Yeah.
It'd be best if we just move on to the next question.
I think that's for the best. Right before we...
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Okay, so second question. I am an older. Oh shoot! I should be displaying these questions so our readers can check these out. I'm horrible on this. So I am an older person. I know. I'm just dropping the ball left and right tonight. So I am an older person that don't have many friends. How can I make new friendships these days when everything seems to depend on computers/online interactions? How would your advice change if I was also horribly introverted?
What's the questioner's name?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Melvin from Amarillo, Texas. So Melvin from Texas.
All
Which
right.
I guess makes sense, because I don't think anyone born after 1990 is named Melvin, right? I think that's a...
Right.
That was kind of harsh. I'm sorry about that.
No. I mean, I'm gonna have to assume that Melvin's like a boomer, and because old people sometimes have difficulty with technology because they're
I see.
used
So,
to,
right, it's good.
things being in black and white.
Right.
And,
so when you hear old, you're thinking really old, like 70s.
I'm thinking
70s plus.
someone who might be afraid to carry a smartphone because they think they're going to catch the 5G.
Got it.
That age. So my mom's age.
Got
That
it.
would be. So
Got it.
we'll just say, how about mid 70s?
70s plus. 70s plus. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's fair to assume. Yeah, from Melvin here.
I mean, I would say for Melvin, the first thing you do getting on the internet for a boomer can be risky. So what I would say is when you're doing the setup, absolutely have your setup done by a millennial or someone from Gen Z or Gen Y, so they can make sure that you're only exposed to the parts of the internet that are healthy for you.
the
otherwise you
non-porn
might-
parts.
Well, no, I mean you might be going down the deep web. You might go down the
Oh, I
dark
see what you're
web.
saying.
You
I
could
see.
end up
Conspiracy
streaming
theories.
Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Fox News, all of that needs to be filtered out from the top. You got to put the controls on.
The world can be
Um,
Melvin's oyster. There you go.
Well, you know how quickly Melvin will turn into an uninformed degenerate if you allow him to just have Fox News for even a day.
Free reign of the internet. Yeah, that's something that can happen. Sure,
Yeah,
that risk
that
is very
that
prevalent.
cannot happen.
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
right, and the fact that the way he words his question makes me think he's like, okay, if it depends on computer online transaction, I'm not interested. You know what I mean? So I think even getting him on the internet's not the path he wants. He wants to know how he can meet people outside of that.
Well, he's saying he might be. He's also horribly introverted, which makes me believe he probably is horribly introverted.
Right.
Which makes me think the internet is actually okay because, hey, man, you can be anybody on the internet. Like, so I mean, whatever. If Melvin wants to be an
Case in point.
17-year-old beekeeper Canadian pop singer,
Yeah.
he can be, if he wants to.
I guess to
and
some extent that's true.
so for people that are horribly introverted, that can be your outlet. Your avatar can be that 19-year-old Canadian pop singing beekeeper. Not sure why I came up with those particular adjectives, but
Is
it's
that,
it could be
it sounds like
anything.
Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, a beekeeper? On the side. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know much about the Beebs.
Yeah, the Biebs.
Other than the fact that he exists.
Right.
He is Canadian, yeah.
Right. So yeah. So all right. So let's go with a couple of different scenarios. So maybe the one is okay. You don't want to deal with learning the internet and computers and all the dangers of the internet and figure out how to navigate your way and all this other stuff. Okay.
Right.
So, and assuming that our assumptions about your age is correct, to me it seems like if your town has a senior center, go to it, because that's where seniors gather to meet each other and do things. If there are socials in the area, yeah, good.
Yeah, I mean, don't mess with the internet. Just do the thing. Play bridge, bingo.
Right.
If you ever do get on the internet, thing that boomers love to do is post old pictures from the 1950s and say like, "This is when the days were great." And they don't have a little line that says, "Unless you were black, brown, Asian, gay,
Of
or
course,
a woman,"
Irish.
yeah,
Right.
any kind. Otherwise, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were a straight white male 1950s, you were riding high.
It was the time. That was the time to do it.
Yeah,
It's a great time.
but yeah, it's a bad look, Melvin. So don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. So again, I think hopefully your town has a good senior center, because I know mine does actually. They have a really nice senior center, and supposedly they could do all kinds of events all the time. They do paint nights, they do weekend bridge, they do other activities. They go on bus tours to places. That's another thing. The bus tours are huge. I don't know if you knew about this, but bus tour Atlantic City, bus tour to old.
Those I've definitely seen. Just
old
results of the bus tours being in Atlantic
village
City.
where they churn butter and do the old timey thing that bus tours.
Sturbridge Village.
If you're in Massachusetts,
yes,
Sturbridge Village,
where
something
you
like
can
that.
learn how to butter churn. You can learn how to shoe
They-
a horse.
They have places like that all over the country. There's a place in Virginia, Williamsburg, Colonial Williamsburg, I think it's called in Virginia.
Right.
Just there's various places like that you can go like that. So bus tours are big. Bus tours to national monuments, national parks, Grand Canyon, Mount Rushmore, all kinds of things. Great way to meet people, right? So I'm thinking though. He said,
Do you think is it wrong to meet people when you're so close to death? Is that kind of mean to make friends? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just asking questions.
So you're
I was just thinking,
speculating.
if
So it's
I
very
met someone
selfish,
in,
is what
my
you're
70s,
saying.
they'd be like, "Dude, you're gonna be dead in like 20 years anyway."
Right.
So it's like, why are we starting this now?
Yeah. Well, what if they're also? What if he's meeting people that are his generation, also in their 70s? Does that make it okay?
I wouldn't say it's not okay. I'm just saying it just seems kind of depressing for
A little
just going around on
self-centered.
a bus full of people who are really close to death. It just seems kind of sad, a little bit.
Okay, well,
I
Melvin.
mean, maybe walking, maybe. I guess I never really thought of it that way, but yeah, no,
I think the elderly can still enjoy their later years, especially bond with each other kind of thing.
yeah, I'm not buying it.
I might ask the
No.
question. This is going to sound a little harsh too, I think, but I'm going to ask the question. So, Melvin, if you're in your mid-70s and you've been horribly introverted, like, why change it now? Like, if you've already gone so far with not wanting to be around people, clearly, because
Right.
you're old, you don't have many friends, you said.
Well, Melvin could have been, he may have been like a pen pal kind of guy where he was,
I see what you're saying.
you have like agoraphobia and you don't want to leave the house, but you have your pen pals and all that, and all of a sudden all that kind of disappeared because
Nobody
the
does pen
internet's
pal
taken
anymore.
over and
Right.
and he has no idea what's going on.
Same with ham radio. Remember that was a thing?
Exactly.
A long time. Yeah.
And all of a sudden a lot less, things are coming in on the, exactly on the ham radio or just even on the FM dial. He's just not getting the interaction you want. So
Right. And I say, Melvin, go to things, go find activities that other people in your age group generation are doing, and you will make friends. Like, guaranteed. People are looking to meet people at these kinds of places. And again, the bus tours
Yes.
are a great idea. Senior centers are a great idea.
absolutely, just don't get too close.
Because if you're going to die, you're going to make whoever you meet really sad. According to
Exactly.
Green Pants.
Thank you.
Not my
Lord.
theory. Green Pants theory. All right, so there we go. All right, next question. This one comes from let's see, Gladys from Athol, Idaho. She asks, "What was the best piece of advice you ever received, and how did it change your life?" Ooh, this is a very existential, kind
This
of
one for me is super easy. I
okay.
think.
Best piece of advice, go.
Do not piss on electric fences. Like that will, if you piss on an electric fence,
Yes.
no matter how many double dogs are in the dare that is being done, do not pee on the electric fence because.
Are you taking that advice as literally, or are you thinking as a metaphor?
No. I was saying
Literally.
actual electric fence. Okay,
Okay.
so 1993, me, 4 guys, cow pasture. Enough said. So, one of my friends dares me to pee on the electric fence, and
And of course
I'm
you did.
thinking, no, my other friend was like, you know what? You're gonna get that shit's gonna go right up the stream into your dick. Horrible situation. So that was the advice, and I was
Okay.
like, oh my god, I don't want to do this. So we made our other friend do it, and we did not give him that advice, and he really lived to regret it. So,
Wow.
Yeah. So like I was really glad that I took the advice and did not pee because he, we had to carry him back, and it was all sorts of, it was kind of embarrassing.
Okay.
But
Yeah. I mean,
That's fine.
I honestly thought when you first said that, I thought you were going for more like a metaphorical, like, kind of like don't shit where you eat, kind of. You know what I mean? Kind of
Well,
like
don't do that
metaphorical advice. Right.
Yeah. No, I'm
Okay.
talking about like an electric
Literally
fence
peeing
that
on electric
carries
fence is a
current.
bad idea.
Peeing on it, it will shock you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also very male-centric advice, right? It's kind of a little more challenging for a woman to pee on an electric fence.
Okay, listen. The question was, what is the best piece of advice you've ever gotten?
You got. That's true.
That is. This was centered toward me. So
Got it.
I'm sorry if
Got it.
my answer isn't
Okay. All right.
isn't as broad as you might like, but
My take
Please.
is the best advice I ever got is, and this is this generic? It's like don't basically the equivalent. I don't know, how do I summarize it? Kind of like don't sweat the small stuff. You know what I mean? It's like people get anxious and like freaked out and neurotic over the stupidest things. All it does is like affect your health and your well-being and takes away from whatever moments of life you have. Right? It's like getting
But do you
upset
think
about
anyone-
bullshit.
does anyone enjoy sweating the small stuff?
No,
I
they
think
don't enjoy
sweat
it,
the
but they
small
still
stuff
do
and
it.
they hate it.
Of course, but they never change. You know what I mean?
But that's one of those things that's kind of hard to change because if you're one of those people that's like super anxious all the time and someone comes up to you and is like, hey, knock that shit off, it doesn't help.
It doesn't.
You're
I know
still
it
now
doesn't.
anxious all the time, and now you're thinking that guy is, that friend is now looking at you and judging you. So it's just like more ways to
You get more anxious about it,
have
right?
your own brain attack
Exactly.
itself. Exactly.
Exactly. No, I get it. And you know what? I have good friends that struggle with anxiety, and I try to give them all the love and support I can. But there's times I just want to like shake them. I'm like, the thing you're obsessed about is stupid. Stop it, you know. And of course, that's not going to work, right?
Right.
But yeah, and maybe for me this was profound because I had I think you know about that near death experience I had, right, where I slid under that semi,
Absolutely.
right? That gave me a lot of perspective about like I'm like, you know what, this stupid stuff just doesn't matter because anything can happen.
Can I tell you how one time my friend peed on an electric fence and like really got himself hurt?
About that. That's bad too. That's also bad.
Friggin' gnarly.
Nice. All right, Gladys. So I hope that gives you some help. I hope you can find your advice that will help shape your outlook, because that's always a good thing. All right, let's hop to question 4.
Hey, and if she's in Idaho, chances are electric fences.
That's fair, actually. It's right. A lot of grazing in Idaho. All right, so here's coming from Leonardo from Pickle Springs, Michigan. Thank you, Leonardo from Michigan. So Leonardo asks, I have long legs, so I always try to buy my plane ticket far advance for a larger row and aisle seat. However, there's always someone who asks to switch seats with me. I've heard all the excuses. I want to sit with my significant other, my kids, my parents, etc. I get plane sick. Why should I have to move if you didn't buy your ticket in advance for an upfront cost? What can I say to these people to get them to leave me alone? There's something I could say that will shut them down without the need to explain myself. So, doesn't want to move a seat on the airplane.
I don't know, like, to me, airplanes are generally considered an active war zone now, where like the Geneva Conventions don't even apply. Like, like the airlines at this point, I don't know about you, have created a Lord of the Flies situation on every single domestic flight that goes out. It is every person for themselves. They are charging for an aisle seat or a window seat.
If you want to bring your bag, if you don't want to bring your bag, like
exactly.
Everything costs.
and they will purposely not put families together so that the family's like, but I have a 3-year-old, and then so they're forced to ask the tall person, can you move so I can sit next to my 3-year-old? The tall person doesn't want to move, but at the same time, you're saying to them, listen, you really don't want to be sitting next to a lonely 3-year-old for this entire flight, because I'll gladly go back 5 rows, and then you can deal with
this is all you,
or
right?
We can switch. And most of the time, they pick the switch.
Right, I hear you. I mean, I'm a big aisle seat person myself. I want the space. And I kind of feel this thing like I'm trapped if I'm like on the end. And this is actually a problem with my wife because she prefers the window. I prefer the aisle. So if it's a 3x3er, there's usually someone sitting in front of it in the middle, which of course upsets her. And then there's words to be had and this sort of thing. So yeah. So I don't know. What would I do? I would go with the and this is a fib, and I don't like to lie. I detest lying, but I would kind of say I have a agoraphobia kind of thing. I can't be confined. I need to be a little more open, or I get very physically upset. So I'm sorry, kind of thing. And
then that would be like, why the hell are you on an airplane?
A capsule. I know.
You're traveling in a steel tube for a certain amount of time with a whole bunch of other people.
True.
You agoraphobe. I mean, I would say that all of those things make sense like 20 years ago. If it's like, because maybe the middle seat is empty, and if you have an aisle and we can switch. That was back in the halcyon days where it wasn't an active war zone in an airplane. Like at any point on an airplane, it could turn into a Squid Game situation. I mean, so yeah, absolutely could. Dude, did you see the pilot today? A pilot tried to take down an airplane. It was and do you know why?
I don't know why.
He did a whole bunch of mushrooms.
Seriously?
I took a whole bunch of mushrooms, freaked out, and tried to shut the engines down in an airplane.
Wow. I didn't hear about the mushroom
subdued. Thing. Yeah, that's it. Well, at least that's what the police say he said, because he's like, yeah, I'm tripping on mushrooms.
Wow.
So, if they find the psilocybin, we'll see. But all I'm saying is, if you get on a plane, I'm just hoping I get there safely. I don't even care if I have to get to sit anymore. I have no expectations, like at all. That is how bad. Yeah, if my part of the plane is pressurized, that's a win.
A win.
Like
Make it.
Like I'll go gladly be down with the cargo. It's just that awful to fly.
Yeah, I would. All right, that's fair. It is a pretty unpleasant experience. I do agree with that. But I would go with that angle. Leonardo from Pickle Springs here. I would go with the saying you either have some kind of malady like the pressure on my legs. I need to keep my legs extended or something. I have a medical thing. to say. And once people hear medical thing or psychological thing is even more like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, and they go, oh,
Yes.
oh, I'm so sorry. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden they feel guilty for even asking. You know,
Right.
which
Right. So you could just, yeah, the medical thing is easy, especially if you're just like, I have explosive diarrhea or uncontrollable flatulence, or I get really airsick and it's explosive and it is voluminous, and you might not want to be
the word pertains
next to me.
voluminous.
Yeah, I mean, you said you don't like to lie. Like, I mean, if you're gonna go for it, just be like, "Hey, you can sit next to me. Totally great. If you want to move, I will puke on you during this flight. I just want you to give you that heads up." And I think, yeah, I think the situation will kind of take care of itself.
Funny. So we had a question from our chat room actually, which was asked: is does the length of the flight change that approach? I don't think so, right?
No,
Like thinking international, you're going to Europe or something, and versus or Australia.
on
Right?
any
Australia's a
airplane for
brutal
any
flight.
period of time is a dystopian hellscape that yeah, I don't care if it's a puddle jumper or if it's a 747
Yeah.
heading to Dubai. It's awful. Just
Yeah.
once you're in the air in that tube, it's just as I said, Lord of the Flies now. Every person for themselves. Just all you're trying to do is make it there. Hopefully no one tries to take down the plane while you're in there. No one, has a medical emergency, and you all just get to the location, go get through whatever diseases that you caught on the flight, because you're always going to catch something, and then,
Wow.
go on from there.
Wow, you have quite the view of air travel.
Yeah,
I kind of share it
it's
too.
horrible.
Actually, but yeah, I don't enjoy flying for sure.
I mean, who does? I mean,
Right.
I like anymore, because if there are people out there who really still enjoy flying, I want to find them, and I want to find out.
Yeah.
Why?
Maybe that's a challenge to our viewers. If anyone out there actually enjoys flying, write on in and let us know.
Yeah, and you can't be a pilot. Like, I'm
Fair.
talking about someone who just sits on the plane,
Not someone who wants
And
to,
you
someone
can't
who
have a
has
private-
to. Yeah,
and you can't have a private plane, and none of this. Yeah,
private plane's fine.
no loopholes.
Right.
Yeah.
The loopholes. But that's what I would do. Like I said, either the psychological or physical excuse, and the person would feel guilty for asking, and then they would not ask for it and then be in the clear. So
I don't know if you've met
Girls
people
think
feeling guilty. I don't know if you've met people lately.
I think
but
people do.
Some of those.
I think people do.
I'm comfortable saying some people.
Okay. So perhaps I have more faith in
We'll give
human
it
nature
some.
than you do. That's fair.
I would say maybe 40% of humans are pretty terrible, and then
Okay.
there's 60 maybe. Yeah,
That's
I'm just I don't know. It's just some recent polling I've done.
All right. So, all right, let's hit our next question.
Okay.
So, Leonardo, I hope that gives you enough ammunition to help your next situation there on an airline. So, next
Just
question
don't get on
comes.
an airplane.
No, the key advice is don't fly.
Yeah.
Like,
Drive,
is where you have to go that important.
Yeah, right, exactly. It is something that could not be done over the internet or over a phone call.
Right,
Really.
right, exactly. All right, our final question for the night comes from Linus from Billings, Montana. So,
Okay.
questioner from Montana, good to see that. Isn't anime just another form of cartoons? Why do they have their own genre? Is there something that differentiates them from normal animated cartoons, movies, etc.? Anime versus cartoons. Yeah, actually, I kind of know a little about this, and this is I mean, anime, as we all know, originated in Japan, right?
Well, anime is just that's just anime just means animation from Japan.
Kind
Like
of.
that's typically what it means. Like, because it's a very distinct form. So anime at this point, I think colloquially just means Japanese cartoons.
Well,
almost.
I would say that like cartoons in the American sense, and it's changed a little bit, right, in more recent years with some exceptions. But cartoons typically are a kid's show, right? That's like little fun, like I
Right.
don't know, name cartoon of choice, right? In Japan, anime, like they'll have animes about like really serious topics. Like it's basically like could be like a full length movie, but just happens to be animated. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a serious drama or something, right? And it could be
Oh, do
animated.
they
and they call
really?
it anime. Yeah. There's a
Because
lot of that.
From an anime standpoint, it does have a very like distinctive look. Like everybody, all the characters always have to have
Style.
like overly large, inhuman
Big eyes.
And they need to react with like the strongest emotion to everything. Like, oh my God, what? Like it's just lots of wide open mouths and yeah. Not to be confused with manga, which I believe is the printed version. So like comics in Japan,
Yes.
printed would be manga, and then
Yeah.
animated. Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
So-
I spent a month in Japan for work, and like their public transit is heavily used. It's like kind of just the way to get around in the city, and it's very clean and very like you actually want to use it, unlike like New York City subway.
Yeah, it's Japan, man.
So it's awesome. The trains in Japan are awesome. But you see everyone like
So they run on time.
like grown businessmen in suits have like manga comics. You know what I mean? They're just reading it as just like reading a novel. You know what I mean? It's kind of like just it's a more accepted form of entertainment regardless of age group. You know, and like cartoons here are, you know, you expect a child to more child
Well, I
oriented.
don't know. I just think of Simpsons, Family Guy.
There are exceptions. Yeah, Family Guy definitely.
I mean,
Rick-
everything on Adult Swim.
Right.
I mean, Bob's Burgers.
Yep.
Rick and Morty.
Yep, Rick and Morty we were talking
You
about
know?
before. Yeah, they're definitely exceptions
yeah.
for sure. But yeah, but in
Uh,
Japan it's very very pervasive in the culture. Having animated things. I guess it's because they don't want to pay actors, just pay voice actors. I don't know.
No, they have a lot of the interesting thing is that most of the boy characters are all voiced by women. So like
Oh, that's
Goku
true.
and Naruto and you know all of the
I'm surprised, but
kind
you're
of standard
you're very up on your characters. I'm very impressed to hear that.
One Piece.
Oh.
I have a 9-year-old boy,
Ah,
so I am familiar with anime, and I'm familiar with Naruto and Goku and who can beat who in a. I mean, I actually had my son showed me a YouTube video of basically it was like who wins, and it had Silver Surfer,
I love who wins.
Superman, The Flash,
Goku. Yeah.
Goku, Naruto,
Yeah,
Cartman, and Peter from Family Guy.
I love it, and I assume it's Goku.
Silver
who's in-
Surfer is just like he just is like it's instantaneous, I guess, from
He's
the
super
Silver
fast,
Surfer's
very
standpoint.
fast, very fast.
Yeah. And then it next is like I think Goku because he's like speed of light. Or
When he goes
whatever,
like
and
into
then
Super
with
Saiyan
Flash.
mode, I think he needs to for Goku when he gets all the hair and the energy and
Right.
the earth is rising above him.
Right. Like the bright yellow hair. Yeah.
And the veins pulsing right about here. And
I really tried to get my son to go as Goku for Halloween.
That'd be
but
awesome.
He went as he's going as a Pokemon instead.
that Pokemon's fun too.
Oh yeah,
Pokemon's fun too.
I just the Goku. I was like, they had all the stuff. They had the the full headgear and the jumpsuit and like all of the accessories. It's been awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, Linus, to get to the root of your question, is anime is a Japanese animation form that typically covers but it covers multiple generations and genres, right? So it can tell real stories, it can tell goofy kid stories. So that's the real
I think
difference.
it's just Japanese animated products.
There you go.
is Anime.
There you go.
Yeah, and then of course there's the Animaniacs, but that's
That is different.
U.S. That is different.
Very pioneering when it came out, which was
Right,
a lot of
yes,
fun. I
yes,
was
that is
watching
true.
when we were younger. Yes. All right, so that's the last one. So it is. It's time for our speed round, Green Pants, and I think you're up
speed
this
round,
time.
okay.
Yeah, I think you're
Okay.
up. So we got a new speed round timer here that we're gonna do. So you're gonna have 1 minute to answer to give all these advices.
Wait, 1 minute to do
1 minute to do 5 questions.
5 questions.
Yeah, so you got to you got to rack these out.
Okay.
Yeah. So no pressure.
Okay.
All right. And
Like,
the timer starts with your first question. Feel like Family
okay,
Feud.
no, the timer should start when you finish reading the first question.
Ooh, you're trying to steal some more time.
That's how
out
it
of
goes
this.
in games. No, that's how it goes in game shows. When they finish the first question, like name something, da da da. da.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right, here we go. So 5 speed round questions. Here we go. So I'll start the timer after I finish reading the first question. If you could jump into a pool of anything, what would it be full of?
Oh, that would be the tears of MAGA white nationalist fuckwits when their orange god king ends up in an orange jumpsuit.
Wow. Question 2. Would you rather fight a chicken the size of a full-grown grizzly bear or 10 grizzly bears each the size of a normal chicken?
Okay, well that's a thing of weight there, because a grizzly bear is like 700 pounds and a chicken is like 7. So if we divided it up, the grizzly bears would be like 70 pounds. So if they were 70-pound 70-pound grizzly bears, no way. But I would definitely fight one chicken. I would fight the chicken.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Next question. Would you survive a zombie apocalypse? What odds do you give yourself
No.
for surviving a zombie apocalypse? Okay.
0.
So 0. Done.
Absolutely none.
if offered,
the minute that shit started, I'm out. Like before the doctors even said there's no hope, I have the cyanide tooth already bit down on.
all right, if offered sushi, would you taste it and immediately throw it in the trash? We have 6 seconds left.
Oh, I would compost it.
Oh shit, we ran out of time. What is the worst young adult fictional dystopian hellscape?
That is Maze Runner. Some people would say it's
Maze
Hunger
Runner.
Games, but Maze Runner is worse because its actual thing is wicked. It's like world in catastrophe, kill zone experiment department is like the bad guys in that. It's even worse than volunteering as tribute. Yeah. So
Okay.
Maze Runner, James Dashner, I think.
Okay, great. Nope, I think that's a correct answer. I'm gonna get. Let's see. I'm gonna think of the other ones you did. Wow. I'll give you a 3 out of 5 on those. I mean, I think you did pretty well.
Do you think I would survive a zombie
With
apocalypse?
3.5. I think you could
Really?
if you wanted
really
to.
think I was
I think
frozen?
if you wanted to, you could. I think.
I don't think I want to.
Fair.
That's why I'm saying like no, because once the zombie apocalypse is going on, I'm like, yeah, okay, I had a good run.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Like all those shows that are about
It's like,
zombie
I
apocalypse.
I've
It's
watched
like
The Walking Dead. It seems like their life sucks.
right.
All
And
of
that's,
it, they're
yeah. No, I was just gonna say that like the thing about those shows, like those apocalypse shows, it's like it's not about the apocalypse element itself. Like it's not about the zombies. It's about
Right.
it's
about
about
the
human
aftermath.
life and how people treat each other in the face of such a thing. You know what I mean? Is really what
Right.
it's.
so if you look at Resident Evil, The Last of Us, The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, like, all of those main characters' lives are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, from The Walking Dead, it's just people slowly watching their friends die as they just desperately try not to get bitten by a zombie.
Okay.
Like that's a hard life right there.
Yeah.
That's a cyanide tooth situation, I think.
All right, and you just want nothing to do with that future. All right, I get that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. I would have no problem with just sitting that one out. The zombie apocalypse.
Got it. You're
Any
taking
sort
a
of dystopian. Once the Earth becomes slightly uncomfortable,
Mhm.
I'm out. That's it. So, no.
Nice.
Anything.
Yeah.
I don't like humidity either. Yeah.
That's great. Oops, I screwed something up. All right, now I fixed it. I want to touch on another question too. The chickens, the size of the grizzly bear thing. You chose the chicken, the one chicken that's the size of a grizzly bear. So a 700-pound chicken is what you chose.
No. That's what I'm trying. That's what it would depend on how you answer the question. So so if doing the math, if a grizzly bear is like 700 pounds, a chicken is like 7 pounds.
Right.
So if you were going to fight, if the chickens or the grizzly bears were just shrunk down, so instead of 700 pounds,
7-pound
you had
chickens.
10. Oh no, you would have 10 70-pound grizzly bears.
70 pounds
So
worth
70
of grizzly
pounds.
bear.
Right. No, you'd
I
have
see.
10 70-pound grizzly bears instead of one 700-pound grizzly bear.
I see what you're saying.
So in that situation, I would fight the chicken because a chicken the size of a grizzly bear is. I mean, I could beat the shit out of a giant chicken, like no
Got it.
problem. But like those grizzly bears, like if you were to even like to try to 70 pounds, like think of how dense that is.
No,
That
I
would be
hear you.
Crazy.
I hear you. Especially
But-
if they get you off your feet, if they get you on the ground, I mean, they would just
Yeah.
go to town on you, right?
But if it was the opposite, if each of the little grizzly bears, the 10 grizzly bears, weighed the size of a chicken, if they were like 7-pound grizzly bears and not 70-pound grizzly bears, I would fucking destroy them. Like there would be grizzly, yeah, they would not have a chance. I would just be throwing them all over, like no problem.
Got it.
Like, I think either one of those situations, I could probably
Okay.
take it.
Great. No, it's good. That's good. It's good to know. And then we had to breeze quickly through the sushi question. So you're not a fan of sushi. You would throw it away, you said.
No, I mean I like to eat food. I mean mainly food that's like edible and stuff. So
And cooked food.
Yeah. Oh, I mean if it needs to be cooked, but yeah, sushi is unprepared food.
Yes.
So I would either prepare it or compost it, and then maybe over the course of time it could be used to turn something into real food.
Strong opinions here. Okay, there we go.
Are they? Isn't that just objectively? I mean, if someone hands you a piece of raw fish, what are you gonna do? Eat it?
Yeah. I mean, some people find it appealing, but yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, and I
Yes.
respect that.
Some people find certain. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've seen German porn too. Some people find it entertaining, but I don't know. There's someone's got to have limits.
Absolutely. To each their own, right? Cool. All right. Well, we handled our questions for today. Again, we had one from chat that maybe we could revisit. What's the question here that we have from our viewer? It's what is the name of the duck from the play System Ignatius Explains It All from All to You?
That is a very specific question.
It is.
What is the name of the duck?
I know this answer to this.
It is not Howard the Duck, is it?
No, it's not. I think you forgot. It was a long time ago, so I think
I have forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to tell me what the name of the duck is.
Throckmorton is the name of the duck.
Yes. Okay. Because okay.
I don't know why I kept that in my head compared to other things I need to put in my head, but
the reason it drives me crazy is because I have a goose that's a goose puppet named Throckmorton. That I had back then, and now that I think about it, that was kind of like
where you
I
got
should
it
have
from.
known that.
Got it.
Yeah, because just in Throckmorton, I'm like, oh, Throckmorton's over there. Like literally, I can see Throckmorton.
Do you still have the goose puppet?
Yes,
Nice.
I have all of my puppets.
Of course.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah. I mean, I had to save them for when I had children, and now that my children are too old for them, now I just walk around shopping malls scaring other people's children.
Younger children, obviously.
No.
And on that note, I think we're going to sign off. I think we had a good episode this week. Thank you all for the questions again. Please keep them rolling in.
Absolutely.
And again, Green Pants, thank you for being here. Always appreciate your input.
Thank
and
you,
insights.
Vanguard.
Yes, always good to see you. And thanks to our viewers.
I appreciate being
today.
called special.
You are, yes. And thank you to our viewers. And we'll catch you next time. So we're going to be here every Tuesday. Maybe not next week, as next week's like Halloween. We may have to shift the schedule a little bit. The little ones. But in general, we're going to be here on every Tuesday, 9:30. You should see us go live. Gaming, we'll be gaming every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And maybe some other times will be coming. We'll see. But until next time, we'll catch you later.
Right.
And keep those questions coming. We're here to help.
Take care. Bye.